Okay, this is the next one. We already did Classic 99, how to install it from these two zip folders right here. So we're going to pour over now the zip folders themselves on RXB and REA. We'll try to make this one quick too. The last one only took 6 minutes, so this one should be very quick also. So anyways, we have in the package here, let's go off into Classic just to show you what's going on. I'm going to take it for granted that you've already done the Classic 99 and put the zip folder inside by putting in RXB. So we're going to take advantage of that right now. So I got RXB installed. Okay. So inside the folder, the zip folder, you're going to find some demos. Now this is the demo that I did of AMS Bank. Probably this went with the first demo of RXB with the documentation. I think this one was in the first or second video. So this is the package right here for the AMS demo. You put that in disk 1, and like it shows here in the documentation, you just put this in disk 1, and then you have 3 different demos here. The tester, which tests the AMS card to show you that it's there and the amount of memory on it. The bload demo just tests bload. It doesn't test the AMS. This is just a demo of loading these files, which are saved by bsave. And then we have this one right here, which is AMS. It uses bload itself and AMS in one demo. And it loads these screens in the AMS card. Well, in the Classic, it's memory. So let's go back to the next one. The next one is a batch. This one right here is simply this file right here and none of the others. You just put this one on the disk and run it, and it creates all these programs. That was the first demo that I did with RXB using batch. The documentation demo went through bload. So I've already done demos on all this stuff. I just wanted to go through here and show you what's going on. Documents. RXB documents. How about if we pour over those for a second? Now I showed you that they're there and I showed you what they're like, but I included a Word document. I wanted to include Word, so I have Word, RXB in Word, in case you want that, and you can, add your own crap to them if you want to. And then I include a PDF. And then I have a PDF version here too. So you have both versions. I also included a text version. Oops. Well, it opens in Word, but it's a text version. This is a pure text version in case you just wanted to put it in the TI itself. I thought it was unlikely, but if you want to, it's there. And then we have the last one we have is a history. And this is a history of RXB as it went from the very first 1000 is where it started at. Now, I actually had a version first that was called, I think, 500. And I think the reason for that is because I'd already seen somebody with, 2.5, version 2, and all these other. So I started, I think, with 5 or something like that. And then I jumped up to 1000 because I'd rewritten little packages on disks and had named them one after the other until I got up to like 450, 500, 600, 700. I gave up then. I just went to 1000. I just said go to 1000. That's where it started from. This is the package that includes all the stuff that people are familiar with. That's why 1000 stands out. And so I went from there and just added each version. 1005 is an example where I fixed the call init from Harry William, giving me the information and adding the Geneve ROMs for the break key. That was the problem with the Geneve. The break key didn't work. You have to add a patch into it, which we did. And then it went on down until another major version was, I think, 2001. 2000 was a pretty good version, but it didn't sell anyways. It doesn't get out there as much as 2001 did. 2002 went out there, but it was buggy. So 2001 is the one everybody has, and it has the least number of bugs in it. 2002 had a couple of bugs in it. 2012 and 11, well, nobody saw 11, but 2012 had all the bugs taken out. I've done everything I can to find every single bug, and I did basically what I did back in 2001, which is going over the entire package. So that's the documentation. So let's go back here. Oops. And this is the Geneve ROMs. It shows you where, they're there. Then we have the object files. Now, this is the package. You have everything That's the tools for the assembler, the saver, the editors, GPL loader. Everything's here to make your own RXB. So here's where the meat is for the people that have granulators, graham crackers, or TIs. You take these files, load RXB 2001. You can get it easily. I just put the last demo out there and how to make it. So if you use that package or this package, either one, you can make your own RXB. And these are the GROM files. Just use the same ROM files. And here's the object files for loading them. So everything's here. Then here's the source so you can assemble it. And then it has listing files here also. These are the lists. This is the listing files for the entire RXB for each GROM. And you can go over it. And then finally the RXB programs. Now I've already demoed all of these. There's nothing here that's not been demoed. The last video I had boot tracking in and a few of these others. I think that was 9. So that's RXB. Okay, for REA, let's load that cartridge. And that's going to be REA. This was written, REA was written for the people that don't use Extended Basic. Like if you're an Extended Basic, you're a person that does not use Extended Basic, then REA would be for you because you're a supercart person, right? So I needed to come up with something that people didn't care about RXB. So fine, let's go with a supercart. If that's your thing, this is it. So what I did here was you have your classic. I already went through that on the last video. REA documents. The REA documents are slightly different. I added a few things like this. Note, it is a standalone version, but we'll find RXB. Now, how this works is that if you're in RXB and you want to find, you're in REA. If you put REA in GROM Bank 0, the first bank, and put RXB into GROM Bank 2, in other words, page 2 for 9804, this is done. REA is in 9800, and RXB is 9804, the next bank over, and you do a call. Let's say you do a catalog and you want to jump over to the next module, which is RXB. All you would do is just hit 6 and run that program, and it'll find the cartridge. Now, it only works in 9804. Now, you can put REA, by the way, in any bank. It doesn't matter which bank REA is in. The supercart, you put it in 16, it'll work. It'll still find RXB, but RXB has to be in the bank too. And this is, like I said, this is only for the people that are supercart people. It's not for everybody. Normally, the supercart people would run this from 6,000 to any bank. It doesn't really matter where. But the supercart people are strictly, they don't care about Extended Basic because they don't use it that often. So that's why I did this. And then also the period key also will go to RXB. Anyways, that's the documentation there. And then it says a few things. It's a one-way trip from the supercart over, because you can't have supercart and ROMs in the same bank. So it switches over, it's permanent, it won't go back. RXB won't go back because it uses its own REA. Sorry, it's a one-way trip. All right, so that's the documentation. And it's also mentioned down here in another spot in the directory, I think. Or down here. Yeah, it's mentioned down here. Yeah, see, it's a one-way trip. Anyway, so that's the documentation. Enough yak about that. The grams, same thing. Here's your text. Here's the grams. If you want to install it in a granulator, pgram, or PC9 or whatever, this is the grams right here. Use TI directory to change it over, or you can use VDM99. We'll do the same thing. Now the tools. These are the editor assembler and GPL assembler, CSave. Same tools in the other package as RXB Zip. Same things. And then you have your Super REA. This is the listing for the data. This right here is a listing for the data, is all of the editor assembler, GPL assembler, and editor 1 all included in one package, and how I put them into GROM. This right here is the listing for just the REA. And then these are all the packages that I use, the object files to load it with the GPL loader. the source files, and here's RXB REA. Excuse me. Here's the setup. Now I need to run this first. You run the setup first with this little extended basic program here. It'll work in XB. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's XB or RXB. And then you convert each one of these files over to these. Then you run these as source files. So that's how I pulled it off. So the entire package is here. So there you guys go. We'll talk to you later again.